There's an ever-present segment of our population that can't speak for themselves, and yet they deserve all the love, care, and attention we can muster. These lifelong companions are part of our families, yet often when times get tough, they are among the first ones to suffer. I'm talking about our pets. In this edition of Making a Difference, we'll discover what a dedicated group of volunteers are doing in the Gorge to make sure our animal friends are being taken care of. It's a typical morning at Home at Last, the animal shelter in the Dalles, which houses both cats and dogs. Pens need to be cleaned, anxious animals calmed, and dogs are rotated from their kennels, which are tight quarters, to an outside area where they can play. Last year, with the failing economy, the shelter saw a 42% increase in animals. 1,223 animals found refuge here.
We kept up pretty well with it. It was, kind of a struggle. At times we would get really full, but we have wonderful volunteers, good foster homes. It always seems, just when we think, oh my goodness, how in the world are we going to take one more dog? Someone appears and it all works out.
All stray animals brought to the Home at Last shelter by Wasco County Animal Control are accepted, and as many owner-released pets as possible, space permitting. All of the animals receive medical treatment, vaccinations, are spayed or neutered if needed, and are microchipped. Home at Last is a nonprofit organization with a board of directors and small staff. They depend on their numerous volunteers to make it all work for the animals.
There's many roles that could be filled as a volunteer. Office work, we have people that do gardening, we have people that just help with housekeeping, dog training, just petting the cats, socializing the cats. We do have people that come out specifically just to spend time with the cats.
Another way you can volunteer at the shelter is to just come down and walk the dogs. This is Lady. She's about a 2-year-old lab mix. She's just so excited to be out today. When you volunteer to walk the dogs, you can come down for as much or as little time as you like. And the dogs are going to love every single minute of it. And if you live in Hood River, there's another animal shelter, the Hukari Animal Shelter, run by Adopt-A-Dog, and they also need volunteer dog walkers. Adopt-A-Dog has been operating for just a few short years, but they've been dog years. Just last year alone, they cared for 233 dogs, and their volunteers logged almost 6,000 hours for their care, marketing, and fundraising. The day we visited, this dog had just arrived from Hood River Animal Control, obviously a very neglected little poodle mix.
She's a very sweet dog. We look for things like being able to touch a dog all over. We look at the dog's eyes and the mouth and basically this dog is just very neglected.
Standard operating procedure at the shelter is to keep a dog for 3 to 5 days after the county animal control officer brings in the animal. If no owner comes forward in that time period, Adopt-A-Dog takes over. They will have the dog inoculated, neutered if necessary, and microchipped for future identification. Their attitude is to go as long as it takes to find a home, even if it means relocating the dog to a Portland shelter where there are more takers.
And again, we don't know the circumstances where it came from. This may be a dog who's been out on the road a long time, but I would say it'd have to be a long, long time because it's so terribly matted. And it needs our care, it needs love.
Finding a loving home is the ultimate answer for a dog like this. One way Adopt-A-Dog facilitates adoptions is by going on location with the animals at events like Saturday Market. Judy Ducher, one of Adopt-A-Dog's dedicated volunteers, often coordinates these activities.
Today's Earth Day, so we thought, what a better way to support Earth Day and the idea of reduce, reuse, and recycle. We basically are in the recycling of dogs business.
Just like the Home at Last shelter in the Dalles, Adopt-A-Dog in Hood River depends on donations and fundraising events to support their shelter. They do a community dog walk in the summer, a Vino and Fido event at Wyest Vineyards, a Christmas ornament tree, and this year they're trying a new event, Dogs on Paddleboards.
There is a huge amount of passion and love that goes around for everybody. They do whatever they can to help the dogs, live a good life at the shelter, help them get socialized, help them get adopted. After adoption, if we can help with any kind of behavior issues, we will. So we just try and do as much as we can. And like I say, everybody loves it.
Oh, what a good dog. Come here, Hooch.
Another way that you can help volunteer is by fostering dogs in your home. We'll find out about the fostering program as well as the adoption process when Making a Difference continues. And Hooch, I bet you're interested in another treat. Oh yeah, aren't you a good dog? Oh yeah.